Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. So finally, we have gone back to fighters and Android 21 characters in Dokkan. So we have this evil Android 21. She's definitely not as good as Android 21 was when she was initially introduced into Legends. But I do think that this band unit Android 21 should at least be a capable character. Now what I'm going to do here, at the start, I'm just going to go ahead and Dokkan Awaken her at 55%. I'm going to use her in the good Android 21 55% video. But this video, of course, you know, we're going to rainbow this 21. We're going to max link her. This is a rainbow max level 10 link case, like showcase, of course. So, all right, I've got her awakened. We'll come back in a second. We'll rainbow her, and then we'll get to the showcase. Alrighty, guys. We are back for another Dokkan battle video. So today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the transformed evil Android 21 right here. Believe it or not, this is actually a new named character. We did previously have this evil transformed 21 that has already eaten and kind of like absorbed Cell. She did already exist in the game, but she was just a transformation, right? This is our turn 1 Beast Gohan, our turn 1 Gogeta Blue right here. We finally got that. Since we got 21, obviously a couple of these other ones like Beast and Gogeta Blue are coming up very soon, guys. Obviously. Now, I chose to go with mostly dodge for her, and then we have some additionals as well. Remember that 21 right here? She does get 50% attack and defense for 4 turns, so she really does eat very hard off of additionals, but it's one of these things where she does already have additionals built in, so you're not going to need to go 30 additional to be able to get her to consistently additional. Probably a little bit more than this would be good. Maybe something more like 15 additional, 20 dodge could be even a little bit better, but I just like to really try and protect myself as much as I can against like the difficult AoEs and big time super attack, you know, from these big bosses and stuff like that. So, all right, let's go ahead and take a look at what rainbowed Link level 10, you know, evil 21, because her name is Android 21 Transformed Evil. Let's see how effective she's going to be here. All right, so we are here in a fight. Android 21, of course, does have an intro animation. A little quick, but I do like to see my baby and her tail show up for us. That's good. All right, now this is not really the greatest opening rotation. It's going to be a couple of turns until we could see her with Big Bad Bosses, which of course is major. So real quick, 21, her link set here, we have Metamorphosis, Android Assault, Big Bad Bosses, Shocking Speed, Battlefield Diva, Fierce Battle, and then Fear and Faith. Again, I'm not really too sure why Fear and Faith is the 7th link. Typically, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power, Shatting Limit, those are links that would be the 7th link right there. I guess it's not the biggest deal ever. Now, as you guys can see, 21 is a character who really eats off of her link sets. I mean, Metamorphosis, 5% HP regen, 10% attack and defense. Android Assault is 2 key, 20% defense. And then the granddaddy of them all, we know what this bullshit does. 25% attack and defense, just ludicrous. Now, I mean, if you take a look at this, we're starting to get a little bit better here. Obviously, we have Piccolo Jr., who is a Big Bad Boss's god. Turles is, like, very iffy. Baby is, like, iffy or sucks. Omega kind of sucks. But now, I mean, Dark King Fu, I like him. This Physical 21, I think I like her. Fusion Zamasu's good. We really, like, they gotta start pumping out... Oh, it's not... Okay, they gotta start pumping out Big Bad Bosses characters that are good. Like, they gotta. They have to. Because characters that have this link are... Like, it's so good, it's so powerful, that the character becomes, like, tied to that link. Like, it's so important. Now, good 21, remember, when we transform with her on turn 5, she will have Big Bad Bosses, but it's going to be a little bit before we get to that, right? So, all right, 21, let's just quickly go over the rest of her, and then we'll get going here. So, her super attack effect is really powerful. This is kind of like the main gimmick of the character, really. She gets 50% attack and defense for 4 turns. That's quite powerful. She has her intro, which gives her 120% attack and defense, and an additional 70% chance to super for the first 4 turns. And then the additional changes into a high chance to super starting from the 5th turn. She also gets 3 key and 210% attack and defense at the start of turn. She gets 90% attack when attacking. I want to come right back to that in 2 seconds. She gets 21% damage reduction against 1 enemy. High chance to crit against 2 enemies. Pointless. And then she does a guaranteed crit if her HP is under 60% at the start of turn, or if the enemy's HP is under 30% when attacking. I've found that to be very good, actually. I like that. I think that's a pretty underrated ability that she has, really. Again, like, using her in the good Android 21 World Tour, I mean, we were using this girl in pretty much all of the fights, and that was a powerful effect. I like that quite a bit. And then finally, she gets 30% HP regen with each final blow delivered, and she recovers HP with candy. I do like that, too, because her getting HP from a final blow, for this character specifically, it does truly feel like it's just tacked on at the end. She is not a prisoner of having to deliver final blows, right? So I like that. And 30% regen is quite a lot, right? Like, you know, and you combo that with her ability, right, which gives her the guaranteed crits when the HP is close to death. Like, it works well. I think she has a nice, strong, tight design. The only issue I really have with this 21, now obviously depending upon the fight, like right now, she works rather well against the AoE bosses because she's physical. Give us a super. Nice, okay, the 70% did give us a super. But, you know, if the bosses, the AGL, or AoE bosses, if they were just AGL instead, like she would get probably obliterated. It does help that she is a villain character as well. Remember that this Android 21 is a superclass character, but the Evil 21 is a villain. Being a villain right now against these big bosses just really does help quite a bit. You know, superclass characters do extra damage against bosses, but they also take more damage. You know, doing damage is not how you're winning. It's surviving the boss's attacks, right? So villains already have an advantage going in, and Dokkan usually fumbles them anyway, which is insanity to think about. Okay, so we had that first turn with 21. Oh, the intros are still on. Sure, we'll play him, whatever.
確かこの近くのはずなんだけど。
私の邪魔をするというのなら受けて立とう。私こそがスーパーヒーローだ。
All right, perfect. So we have Bulma on rotation here, so we'll be able to go ahead and get that delicious support going. The Int Android 21, you know, she is probably not really going to be good enough to use. I mean, I'm gonna have the video for her coming up very soon, right? We'll give videos to all the characters. I still have to finish videos on the heroes characters. Still sort of working through. I still have a couple left, a couple of good ones left too, like Modified Janemba. I've not gotten to his showcase yet, unfortunately, but, you know, it's coming. There's, you know, Dokkan, we have nothing going on for weeks, and then they drop so much content that I drop 6 videos in a day, like, every day, and I still can't get to all the stuff that's happening, right? It's nuts. All right, now, with Bulma's support, we're going to have MVP 17, like, and 21 had a couple of super attacks last turn. Her stats should look pretty good. One maybe, like, kinda negative we could point out with Physical 21. She is going to need to have, like many... Wow, for normal? Bruh. Okay. Yeah, that Int 21, she's really bad, huh? Holy, dude, are you kidding me? Wow, alright, well, okay. Damn, dude, yeah, that Int 21 is terrible. Damn, you cannot run her, holy shit. We probably will be able to get Physical 21's final blow right here, depending upon our RNG with additionals, of course. So that's going to be pretty good. What was I going to say? I got completely distracted by how much damage Int 21 took, dude. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, that threw me off. I was not expecting her to take that much. Oh, my God. God, she's horrible. Okay. One negative with Physical 21 is, you know, again, basically the strength of her character is carried around the super attack effect. Now, there was one thing I wanted to go back and make a point on, too, and that's she gets 90% attack when attacking, which is good. It's a multiplicative buff. She does not have multiplicative defense, though. That's the issue. I mean, she has her stacks from her super attack effect, if she had, so it's 90% attack when attacking. If she also got 90% defense when attacking, she would be so busted. She would be so crazy. So crazy. But, I mean, guess what? I want that. Yeah, I want her to be that crazy. Okay, so let's see how we do right here. We potentially could have 21 get her finishing blow mechanic in right here, which could be good. I mean, that's going to give us 30% HP regen. I'd really love that. And we see her stats look very high. So remember, 21 is going to be doing guaranteed crits in 2 different ways, by the way. Because our HP is low at the start of turn, and because the enemy is low HP. Hopefully the additional is the super. She'll definitely kill. Okay, there's that. And we did get the additional super. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Alright, so Frieza's dead. 2 guaranteed crits right here. And then that's a final blow. So now we're going to get value out of her 30% HP regen, too. That's sick. I love that. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Alright, we'll leave Bulma on this rotation, of course. I'll leave this 21 around, and then we can float off Gamma 1. Now, on this next rotation, we haven't had Big Bad Bosses activated quite yet. But on this next rotation, we're finally going to get Big Bad Bosses activated with her. But keep in mind, we also are going to lose her intro stats, which are only for the first 2 turns, essentially. Her first 2 rotations, she'll have her intro stats, and that's all. I also don't think that really needed to be a thing. It kind of sucks because it does not synergize well with good 21. You know, good 21 does not gain Big Bad Bosses until turn 5, which is when physical 21's buffs go away. So that's kind of a problem. So, like, Big Bad Bosses characters for the 21's teams certainly can be a bit of an issue. I mean, just like EGL 21, we can run physical 21 on the crossover team, which we're gonna. I want to get at least 1 rotation of her, like, you know, with her intro buff up still up, you know, next to maybe like Dark King Fu and Hearts and some of these guys, right? Like, you know, like we could run her on the Super Saiyan 3 Rose crossover team, and she could have a lot of these stats. I guess I should remember that 21 does have damage reduction too, so we see her with, like, you know, the 700k defense start of turn. She does have some damage reduction, but keep in mind it's a very low amount of damage reduction, 21%. I mean, I'm not talking about, like, oh, you know, she's got damage reduction. Like, it's like, once they hit, like, 50% damage reduction or something, it's like, okay, like, now we're talking, right? But, like, I mean, it does need to be something like that. All right, let's transform. We're at 514k. That's without the intro buff. Okay. Let's go ahead and transform into good 21 right here. We can go ahead and play the... I mean, it's an Android 21 showcase. Whatever, we'll play it. Alright, so let's see what Physical 21's defense is looking like right here. Now we're up to 600. And that's with everything activated except for Fear and Faith. But guess what? Fear and Faith doesn't do anything. It's just gives ki and lowers enemy defense. And by the way, look at Frieza. Unable to have defense lowered, right? So it doesn't really matter. So we're back up to full HP, because the 21s are good at HP regen here. This is good. I mean, we have all of our major links active. We have Bulma support up. We have support from the free-to-play Android 21. I mean, this is, you know, as good as it gets, except for she doesn't have her intro buffs up. Okay, so there's that. I think, at this point, I do kind of want to swap over to the crossover team, and I just kind of want to see maybe, like, a juiced up, like, second turn for her, you know, where we have, you know, Big Bad Bosses up and some of these things, and just see what she looks like again, kind of on, like, that second turn. So I think I'll do that. We'll come back with Android 21 on the crossover team, specifically on the Super Saiyan 3 Rose crossover team, and see what stats she gets over there. Alright, guys, we should be able, I just want to get a couple of rotations right here while 21 still has her intro buff up. We potentially could take a little bit of damage from Cell at the start here, but I do not think he will kill 21. I don't think he'll kill 21. Alright, so we're at 327 right here. We don't have Big Bad Bosses, but we do have Dark King Fu coming into rotation next turn. So we'll see what we're going to get. Yeah, EGL 21. She'll be A-okay right here. Okay. So yeah, let's see what the defense and damage are going to look like for Physical 21 in this rotation, and then the next rotation, and then we will finish up. Again, I think that she is a fairly good character. There's like one or two minor changes they could have made her to make her a lot better. But again, I do not really get the Frost vibe or Dr. Joe and Dr. Mew or anything like that from this Physical 21. She actually seems like a fairly competent, powerful character we could run. Maybe, you know, we are a little bit reliant on her getting some, you know, additional supers. Of course, that's going to be very big. But I view her as a pretty good character. At least like an extra helpful addition. Oh, nice. That's beautiful. Triple super right there. Remember, that's triple 50% we're getting right there. But Big Bad Bosses needs the assistance, the help, man. So it's good that it seems like we're getting a couple of at least semi-decent Big Bad Bosses characters. It's really good. Alright, so we're on this next rotation, and yeah, so this is what 21 could look like, potentially. This is all 7 links activated. If I hit this, does this push 21 almost over 1 million? Like, look how high she gets. Like, that's, I mean, that definitely does look good. This is more so what I wanted to see on the second rotation, was just how high some of those stats can get. Yeah, that 970, that's very impressive. All right, let's see what the damage is looking like for 21 right here. We, of course, are going to have the Dark King Fu support and stuff like that. We're missing out on some links from good 21, but it's mostly defensive stuff. Metamorphosis does give 10% attack right there, but the rest is just all defensive links. So let's see the damage that 21 gets right here. Again, remember, she could still do multiple supers. She is definitely a pretty powerful unit, though. No doubt about that. More characters, I mean, at her level or a little bit better is good. The last banner unit, the Vegeta and Nappa, I thought was pretty decent as well. So they have been giving us some decent banner units, which is really good to see. Alright, this is Growth Through Predation, Android 21 transformed evil. Her leader skill is Power Absorption, Category Key 3, and 130% to stats. Her super attack is the Absolute Release Ball, which greatly raises attack and defense by 50%. So that's a 50% buff for 4 turns. Pretty good. And she does supreme damage to the enemy. Her passive skill, Preying on All the Clones. She activates her intro animation, and then she gets 120% attack and defense, and an additional with a 70% chance to super. Wait, no, it's just a 70% chance of an additional super for 4 turns. Okay, so she gets the 120% stats and the 70% chance of additional super for the first 4 turns. And then it becomes a high chance of an additional super starting from the 5th turn. So, Physical 21, her stats are going to be much better towards the beginning, right? Then she gets 3 key and 210% attack and defense at the start of turn. She gets 90% attack when attacking. Then she gets 21% damage reduction when facing only 1 enemy. Then she gets a high chance to crit against 2 or more enemies. And then she does a guaranteed crit if your HP is 60% or less at the start of turn, or if the target enemy's HP is 30% or less when 21 is attacking. You recover 30% HP with every final blow delivered, and then you recover HP with candy. I do kind of like what they did with her. You know, the final blow mechanic is very good for her, the way they designed it. I do really like that crit mechanic that she's working with as well. I think that's also very good. If I was to do anything, I do think that, like some sort of, you know, maybe a little defense when she gets hit, or defense when she supers, or something in her passive. Because it's like, at a certain point, like, we do got to start getting characters that are just, like, really good in some of these fights. I mean, we're going to, but that's the one sort of thing with her. She is very reliant on getting actual super attacks, right? Additional normals would hurt this 21 a lot if you got that with, like, the Hidden Potential System additional or something like that. So that's something to certainly keep in mind there. Her link set is Metamorphosis, Android Assault, Big Bad Bosses, Shocking Speed, Battlefield Diva, Fear and Faith, Fierce Battle. On the good Android 21's team, Big Bad Bosses is kind of hard to come by because Int LR Cell sucks until you transform, and even after he transforms, he is very susceptible to AoEs as well. So that's kind of like what hurts the 21s, is that Big Bad Boss is difficult to come by on 21's team. So hopefully we can keep getting more good Big Bad Bosses characters. Now this is interesting. Her 12 key multiplier is 135%. Just a tad lower than you typically would see, right? Usually, banner units are at 140% for the 12 key multiplier. And then finally, 21 is on a couple of different category teams here. So she's on Power Absorption. I guess this could become potentially an interesting team or an interesting lineup. It sure would be nice if Omega was an actual character, but he's not, unfortunately. Like, it sucks. Peppy Gals. Remember a long time ago, STR transformed Android 21 was actually not on Peppy Gals, and she was added to it later. So that, adds this 21, to the category as well, which is good. She's also on Full Power. Okay. Could be interesting. You never know. Maybe at some point in the future, 21 being on Full Power could be good for some sort of mission in a difficult stage. That's nice. She's also over here on the Android category team. We certainly could use any Android buffs we could possibly get. They will always need that. She's also on Transformation Boost. This is where the 21s would be at their best, if possible. Is probably Transformation Boost. So hopefully, like, some sort of really powerful, like, Buhan. Maybe New Year's is, like, Vegito and Buhan, and then Buhan leads Transformation. Oh my god, that would be so good. Right, like, imagine, like, a Vegito Kamehameha leader, and then Buhan, like, Transformation Boost. Would be just crazy good. Then, 21 is also over here on Majin Power, is the category we have here. Obviously, that's a bit of a niche category right there. She's also on the Battle of Wits category, which has gotten a lot of strong options, obviously. And then finally, she is over here on the crossover category team. So, let me know what you guys think of the banner unit, Evil Android 21. I would say she is definitely a solid character. Some slight... both of the 21s, very minor changes, and they would explode to being very good. Just some very minor tweaks. But they both are at least still pretty solid. So, let me know what you think of Physical Evil Android 21. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.